Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila, your Alexandrian Archives, and today, I can't believe I'm saying this, okay? This is the third time that I'm filming this damn video. And it's because every time something goes wrong, every time like I forget a book or whatever, or I can't find some of the footage. Anyways, this is the final time. Third time's a charm, right? Although it says that I have 17 minutes left on storage-wise. But we're gonna do it, okay? This is my nonfiction TBR. I have a post on my Instagram that has all these books. So if you want to check that out, I will link that down below. Links to buy these books if you're interested will be down below if they're available. I don't know when, after this video, but they're gonna be available at one point, okay? So we're just gonna end. The thumbnail will be from the original video because I like that thumbnail and I look nice in it. So, without further ado, let's get to it. I have 3 books that I own, okay? 3 of the books on this list I own, but we're just gonna go power through it. The first 2 books are by Professor Lloyd Welland-Jones. The way that I found out about these books is my friend Erica over on her channel Moon Inc., which focuses on ancient history, specifically the Greek and Romans, read the Persians, liked it, had an interview with Professor Welland-Jones, and therefore I discovered it, and I'm half Persian. Anything with Persia and the Greeks and Alexander the Great, I will read. So I have the Persians. The other book by him is a Cleopatra's. This one is much different than all the other nonfiction Cleopatra books that you would find because he doesn't focus on Cleopatra VII, the one we know. He focuses on all the Cleopatras before her, including Cleopatra VII. So it's an extensive telling of the stories of the Cleopatras. Fantastic, chef's kiss. I read a good chunk of it. Highly, highly recommend. He writes in a really accessible manner, and yeah, highly recommend. He knows his stuff. The next one is Mystery Cults in the Ancient World. I forget who wrote this, but I saw a post of it from, I believe it's Attica. Her thing is Classics for Plebs. She had a really cool post about it. I was like, I am interested. I love cults. The mystery kind, not the modern kind. So yeah, it was interesting. I read a little bit of it. It was interesting. I definitely want to have it on my bookshelf. I just love the cover. And the next one is Persian Fire by Tom Holland. No, not the Spider-Man, the classicist. Tom Holland is super famous in the classical studies world. He translated the Histories by Herodotus, which I have a copy of, and I love his translation. Persian Fire is about the Persian Empire, and as I said, anything with the Persians, I'm gonna add it to my list. Okay, will I read it? I don't know. Eventually. So yeah, that's all I can really say. The next 2 books are by the same author. His name's Paul Krivajek. I guess that's how you say it. First one is Babylon, Mesopotamia and the Birth of Civilization. I feel like that's self-explanatory. It's about Mesopotamia. Love Mesopotamia. The other one is In Search of Zarathustra, Across Iran and Central Asia to Find the World's First Prophet. So Central Asians, before the coming of Islam, were Zoroastrians. Zoroastrianism is actually like the first monotheistic religion, or like one of the first before the Abrahamic religions came into the region. And in Central Asia, especially for example in Tajikistan where I'm from, you still have a lot of the Zoroastrian values and beliefs in the sort of city, in the motifs, in the structures, especially in the Pamir Mountains, which is where my mom's family is from. So that's that. I do have a copy of this on my Kobo. It is notoriously difficult to find a physical copy of it. So if you find it and can send it to me, I would be very grateful. Also, fun fact, my great uncle met the author. So that was fun. I don't know. Like he's mentioned it in the book, and I was like, hold on a second. This is a very familiar name because the first part of his last name was slightly different, like was an added prefix, and the second part of his last name was the same last name as my mom. Like is this who I think it is? So yeah, I have a picture with him. Cool dude. The next one I have is The Amazon Lives and Legends of Warrior Women Across the Ancient World by Adrienne Mayer. I actually have a copy of this. It is sitting on my desk. I'm too lazy to get it. This is about the Amazons. It literally mentions, one of the chapters is literally called like Amazonistan, and I cannot stress enough how important Central Asia could be to the ancient world. I feel like people are so focused on ancient Greece and Rome and sort of the closely surrounding countries that they completely ignore Central Asia. Central Asia was huge in the ancient world. We were part of the Silk Road. We were part of the Persian Empire. People just ignore it in favor of ancient Greece and Rome because it's more flashy. Which I guess sort of speaks to the whole classicist thing, because classical studies was mainly reserved way back when it first started to be bigger for the white rich men, right? The next book I have is Assyria, The Rise and Fall of the World's First Empire by Eckhart Fromm. This is another book that I found from Erica's channel. She's my main source for nonfiction regarding the ancient world. Because nonfiction with the ancient world is so hard, because especially if you don't know a lot about it, you're gonna read one and then you're gonna believe all the, in a certain manner, you're gonna believe some of the stuff, right? You're gonna learn some of the stuff, you're gonna understand some of the stuff, and then years later it's gonna come out that that person is a total fraud, So like it's difficult to find good ancient history stuff, especially with regions that you don't particularly know as well. For example, Assyria, or for example, Iran and Central Asia, right? If you don't know much about the Persians because you focused on ancient Greece and Rome, it's going to be difficult, right? The next one I have is Empire of the Steppes by Kenneth W. Hurl. This is regarding the people, the nomads of the steppes. So imagine like Mongolia, Eastern Russia. The cover is pretty cool. I do believe I have this on my Kobo, and it is available in Canada, but it's incredibly expensive. So I think I'm just gonna wait if there's a paperback. So yeah, the next one is Helen of Troy by Bethany Hughes. She is a super famous classicist. I can't say off the top of my head what else she wrote, but maybe editing Mila will get to it. What can I say? Helen of Troy is an incredibly interesting character because there are so many theories about her. Was she actually in love with Paris? Did Aphrodite make her fall in love with Paris? Did Paris make her fall in love with himself? Was she sent off safely to Egypt and a decoy was placed in her stead? There is a play, I believe, about it, or like a story about it. After the Iliad, if I remember correctly, it's like the real Helen of Troy was sent to Egypt to live her life, the best she can. And there was like a decoy that was sort of placed with Paris. It wasn't actually Helen of Troy that was with Paris. So super excited to read that one. The next one is The Ancient Greek Hero in 24 Hours by Gregory Nagy. I have it on my desk. It is a library copy. Hoping that one day they'll come out with a paperback. This one I've heard is notoriously difficult to get through because it's so long and so I guess a lot of information is thrown at you, and I believe there's a course that is attached to this, or at least a series of YouTube videos that you can watch alongside reading the book. I think I'm going to do that once I have the time for it, which I do not have at the moment. The next one is Infamy by Jerry Toner. This is another one from Erica's channel. This one, see, I'm not an ancient Rome girly, I'm an ancient Greece girly, fully ancient Greece, okay? But ancient Rome had some interesting times, some interesting crimes. I believe this is about mainly the crimes that were committed in ancient Rome. So yeah, pretty excited to talk about that. The next one I have is The Ottomans by Mark David Bayer, I believe. Ottomans. I don't know a lot about them, to be honest. All I know is that when I die and go to heaven, if I meet any of them that let, the Parthenon marbles be taken away from the Parthenon, it's on site. They're gonna catch these hands, if they square up in heaven, okay? You're gonna square up in heaven. Understood, Ottomans? It's on site. The next one is the last one, actually, I believe, is Rome and Persia by Adrian Goldsworthy. Again, anything with Persia, I will read. Oh my goodness, I believe there's one more that I completely forgot. Oh my gosh, did I completely forget it? Youch. Completely forgot it. Yikes. Big time. Oh no. Okay. Well, there's one that was called, like, In the Shadows. Alexander in the Shadow. No, Darius in the Shadow of Alexander. Alexander in the Shadow of Darius. And, oh man, I can't find it now. Because it's not on here. Okay, it's not on here, which is weird because... Oh, Darius in the Shadows of Alexander by Pierre Bryant and translated by Jane Marie Todd. I completely skipped over that one, apparently. So that one, I don't know much about, but again, anything with ancient Persia, anything with Alexander the Great, anything with those two, I just love learning about because I just love it. I just love it. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I finally got through it without all the problems that I had. I will leave a link to all of these down below if possible, because some of these are a little bit more obscure than others. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my socials. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you have any other nonfiction recommendations. It doesn't have to be history, it can be other stuff, but preferably history. And I will see you in the next one. Happy reading! Finally did it! Success! Success!